Hey there, it's Boots Owen here. This is a Sanyo microwave. Sanyo, I don't know what model it is. I haven't been able to find it written on it anywhere, but it's a commercial, like restaurant type of microwave. It doesn't have a turntable. It's really heavy, and I'm going to take it apart today and see what's inside. And maybe I'll learn something about it. I found it. It had the plug disconnected. I'm not even going to try and turn it on. I really don't care. I said it's really heavy. I put it on a weighing scales. It weighs about 35 kilos, and a regular microwave weighs about 10. So I have a feeling there's going to be some really big transformers and maybe 2 magnetrons inside, given that it's got triple the weight. And all the weight's at the back. But let's get into it and see what we can see. It's pretty gross. It's been in a kitchen, I presume. It's all sticky, as these things are. It's really heavy. I've said that a few times. So even just trying to manipulate it on the bench is a lot of work. An interesting little door on the side there. There's something red stuck in the screws there. I don't know, like a bit of plastic or something. They're all coming out easy enough though, probably because they're covered in grease. It's got some portable appliance test stickers on there, but weird, like the one that's on top is rubbed off because it's been cleaned. Let's see if there's anything in here. There's a little door. I don't know what that is. Probably a light bulb. That's probably for a light bulb. The bulb is missing. I've just got a magnet there, stuck it on this, and it's magnetic, so stainless it may be, but it's not that stainless. Let's see then. Yeah, so I'd say a light bulb goes in there, but it's obviously not in there. Round the back, some more screws. Try and get you a close-up on it. Like, you can see those white marks on the back. That's probably overspray from something. But just looking in there, like, it's pretty gross. That's the cable just tucked in there. It's all, like, just covered in goo and stuff. So you could try and fix it and sell it. These things, they might have a really good resale and be quite valuable. Quite expensive, used. I'm not going to find out. Well, maybe I will if you tell me in the comments, but not going to find out from experience. Let's try and get this. There we go. So it's seized shut with grease, probably. Just using the screwdriver to snap the cold grease off. Peel it off. There we are, in there. Well, quite interesting. So we've got a model. Got a plan, a circuit diagram. EM C1800K or EM C1400. Power supply on top, coming down through a couple of capacitors by the looks of things. PCB, lots of switches down the bottom there. 2 magnetrons. So let's do this like this. Top, middle, bottom. Press pause if you find that useful. That could be really useful to somebody. Interlock relays and this and that. Let's have a look. Oh, it's pretty grim inside. Kind of expecting to see rat poo or something, but well, maybe not. So down here, Let's see. Down here is a massive transformer. Now, this is way bigger, by the looks of things, quite a bit taller than a regular one. Regular microwave oven one. Around on this side, there's a couple of capacitors and a circuit board. I wonder, are those cockroaches? I've never seen a cockroach in the UK. I'm pretty sure that's what it is though. Oh man, they fucking disgust me. Oh, yuck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's cockroaches. So there's a couple of corpses down here. Like that. I watch a video, yeah, it looks like something like that. I watch videos by a guy called Drain Addict over in Australia, and periodically he lifts a manhole cover and there'll be roaches in underneath, and yeah, it's just gross. So there's another transformer here. Another transformer here, a couple of capacitors, so let's get them shorted out straight away in case there's anything going on there. All I'm doing is getting a screwdriver with an insulated handle and just touching the contacts from one side to the other, and any power that's in them will just instantly dissipate. There's no, you don't have to keep it there for a length of time or anything like that. Didn't expect to see cockroaches in it. I'm glad that they're not moving, but that doesn't mean that there isn't eggs and whatnot in here. Oh, makes me feel a little bit scuzzy. Maybe I should just put the lid back on and throw it out in my garage. There's nothing in here for them to eat, but that doesn't mean they won't live in here. I think they need food, don't they? If I'm going to go touching it. Oh, just being a wimp. Is it worth the hassle? So, there's no fans in this. No, there's not no fans. There's fans to cool things down in here, I presume. There's no turntable in it. So what I think these use is some kind of a baffle or something to send the magnetron microwaves around, because otherwise you just end up heating along the wavelength of what you're cooking. Nothing's moving inside it, so maybe I'll proceed. The other guy I watch is Lewis Rossman over in New York. He repairs computers. Worth watching. He's quite a cynical fellow, but you'll learn a bit off him. His videos are interesting from this point of view, because he'll take apart a laptop, and he's shown ones that have got insects living in the laptop, which just again makes the skin crawl. Yeah, cockroaches. Gross. There's the power cable. It's like 1.5 mil or something. It's really big. That can be recycled. What can we see in here? 2 capacitors. So there's 2 transformers, 2 magnetrons. There's quite an interesting interlocking mechanism there for the door switches. There's some kind of a relay switch or something there that's got sauce inside it. There's a control board up on top, covered in poo of the cockroach, with little 12-volt relays on it. Those little black relays. I've used those in other projects, and I've used them for fixing washing machines and stuff. There's another kind of a thing here which I've not seen before, so I might pull that out, even though it's covered in interesting insects. I think it's some kind of a relay contactor or something in there as well. That's what I presume it is. Yeah, 12-volt contactor, so these grey wires will send a signal to join the power in these wires here. My appetite for dealing with this has just disintegrated. Really no interest in touching this bloody machine. It's so heavy. The transformers are what I wanted, because I thought if it's got twin transformers, that could be interesting from a welding point of view. The transformers are screwed in from above by the looks of things. You can just see those 3 screws, and then they're flipped in. So how the devil are we going to get in there among the corpses? How indeed. There's one screw. Of course they're welded shut with gunk and whatnot. Is it worth the hassle, or is it just scrap? Should I put the lid back on? Imagine what kitchen this came out of. This will be out of a fast food restaurant somewhere relatively near to where I live. I don't know where it came from. That doesn't mean it's not gross. Oh, it's gross. It's so gross. What do I do? Abandon it or keep going? That up there is a cooling fan, this white thing. There's a fan motor, it's the green thing. There, that's scrap if you want it. There's loads of copper in those coils there. There's another capacitor or something there. A couple of fuses you could salvage and reuse. That was the power coming in, so that'll be maybe a suppressor for noise. There's a little turntable motor up there, even though there's no turntable, so that must be driving something that revolves very slowly. Maybe that's the thing that scatters the microwaves. I'm talking out of my hat here. It's weird. There's a PCB there. Another PCB in the back of the, or in the front of the machine. And behind the front of the machine. Another PCB down here. That's the signal. That's a little alarm there. But man, I don't know why I care. Like, I have no issue taking a mouse out of a mouse trap. Up here, there's some pretty good resistors. 20 watt, 250. No, 20 watt, 25 ohms. So they're big resistors, big ceramic resistors by the looks of things. Man, it's fucked up. It's just so gross. I guess I'd feel the same if there was a dead mouse inside the microwave. It's more like that this means that, you know, people's food was cooked this way and yuck. Right. Sorry, I've just been ranting on about nothing. There's 2 screws there. If I can get them out, we're halfway into getting a transformer out of here. But it's all kind of steamed up with gummy old grease. So it's difficult to get a grip on it at all. There we go. That's a socket screwdriver. They're very handy. Man, my skin just goes... I don't know, like I feel kind of itchy, like lice, but if they're not moving and they're not scattering away into my little workshop, then maybe they were all dead. Like the thing, we had some very cold weather here, but I thought these guys could survive nuclear winters, so I don't know. That was pretty stuck. There we go. Don't know much about roaches. I kind of ignore the fact that they exist. Now let's see where the other screw is from below. It's on the back corner, so it's... How are you going to get in there? I think I've got to take the back off it. So let's spin it around. Let's spin it around and have a look at that. I feel so dirty. So dirty. This is gross. Like you can see this epoxy grease and how sticky it is. I guess if you're a little tiny insect, that grease by itself is delicious and it's probably nice and warm in there. Sleep it up on a transformer or whatnot. I think this lifts out, but it's got little tabs there, so I don't know. The cables are attached at the top, holding me back, covered in roach poo. Let's just bend that down because I don't care. Let me get at these screws. The magnetrons... I was watching a video by a guy called Tin Man Scrapper this week. He's a school teacher somewhere in Canada. Nice guy by the sounds of things, you know, in terms of what you can tell from him making his videos. He takes stuff apart and then gives the money to charity and makes a video, which is cool. He was talking about the dangers of magnetrons, and a lot of the videos about the dangers of magnetrons seem to have been either along the lines of or copied from a guy called Aussie 50. That's just welded shut as well with yuck. So Aussie 50 made a video and they talk about beryllium poisoning from the metal that is within. Stuck on the corner there, that's it, okay. Beryllium poisoning from, so that's the input side. Power coming into the transformer, and this is the super duper high voltage over this side going to the capacitors, and then I don't know where, it doesn't matter, I'm just going to cut the cables. Because if I'm doing anything, I'll have to cut out one of the windings. But I kind of suspect that because it's kind of old, not that old, and kind of heavy, that these transformers would be better for welders than the smaller ones, but I'm just making that up. So anyway, beryllium poisoning, and for beryllium poisoning, I think you have to damage the ceramics. So generally speaking, these things are just fine. Of course, I'm no expert. I think I've said that before in a video or two. I'm an expert on being disgusted by cockroaches. It's just... oh my god. So gross. There's one last screw down here. The grease is sticky, but once you've overcome the friction of it or the seal, it just comes apart. If you're from a place that, you know, always has cockroaches, you might explain to me how you feel about them, because I've never actually, that's not true. I've seen them in America. I remember seeing a big one on the street in New York. You know, typical story. It was as big as a rat or some other guff. I don't think I've ever had to interact with them. I think I might have seen one, like a tiny one somewhere as well in a house in America. Cut out these cables because they can all be recycled. Like I say, I have a limited interest in doing any more with this now because it's so... oh, it's so gross! So those are thermal sensors on the sides or the back or whatever it is of the magnetron, because you need to make sure it doesn't overheat. Those are graphite, kind of, never seen them done like that. So they're split and then held together with a cable tie or two. They're against radio interference. They're not magnetic, but I guess they could be magnetized. Graphite, what would that be useful for? Making a foundry? Making your own crucibles for your foundry? Maybe. Let's get this one out if we can. Yeah, that's it, loose. That should lift up and wander out. It's cable tied onto a load of gross cables. Magnetrons have big magnets and they have some brass rings in them and stuff. They look pretty much like domestic ones, those magnetrons. I don't know that they're uprated or anything like that in any way. Right. I'll put this back together. I knew it was going to be grease, like kitchen grease, but the insects really just give me the pip. The notion that food's prepared in proximity to these things just makes my skin crawl. Right, that's on there. I'll cut some of the cables out of the top while I'm here. Is that a date? 12/99, maybe? Don't know. I'm not doing anything to be careful here or anything like that. I'm not trying to delay my time in with this thing. Just trying to get a bit of... It's really trying to recycle it because I think it's a good idea for the environment. That, you know, if this is just scrapped as a microwave, it'll just get chopped up into steel and be recycled in a very limited way. But if it's separated out a bit, at least some of the metals will be recovered. I don't want to fucking... I'm swearing a lot in this video because I'm grossed out by the whole bloody thing. Like, if this was clean, and like, it's weird, normally domestic things are really quite clean. Like washing machines, they might have a bit of carbon dust on them or that, but, and you know I like washing machines, they're never like this. This is just giving me the pip. I think I've said it already. Disgusting. Right. Put the lid back on. Throw you to the dogs. Filthy animal. Try and overcome that grease scum stuff there. The top kind of slots onto it. Just like that. And then we put a few screws back into it and be done with it. Oh, yuck. I want to cry. I want to cry. This could have been a lovely adventure, but instead... Well, maybe that diagram will have had some use for somebody. Now I've got to go and hand weave my own bunk bed ladder to get the... I don't know why I'm doing this by hand. That's screwed in one balloon, but I'm trying to get it in this way. The screwdriver bit's not quite right for these ones, but... Now, a couple more. Cockroaches. Oh, woof. It's not even bloody stainless. Like, I knew it was gross, but cockroaches. Did I say that already? There we go. A couple more. It's already way lighter. When we get to the end, what I'm going to do is show you the difference between a regular transformer and this one. Just, there's the door open again, just because I can. Yeah, something tells me that that's gross. I'm going to throw it out. Let's push it out of the way for now. Have a look at this. So, there's the transformer that came out of this machine. There's all sorts of poo on the bench there. And this is the one that came out of a regular machine. So, it's about twice the size, kinda. Let's lie it down there. Well, it's definitely 50% bigger. Apparently, these kind of cheapsy ones, this came out of just a generic brand machine. Apparently these ones, they have aluminium coils in them now. I'm hoping that these are copper. For no reason other than copper might be better somehow. Look at the grease on the side of that there, all black and yuck. Oh, man. And there's the other one. There's some numbers there. Danger high voltage N5T-C1850 230 volt 50 hertz 25 R0 ZPC2. And that's interesting. Maybe that's a serial number. So they're both N5Ts C1850. Bottom number 25R0Z PC2. C1800Z Oh, they're so gross. I'm gonna have a shower. Questions or comments? Oh man, thanks for watching. See you later.